sortie, Colonel! For God's sake, a sortie!
Hold on, Heyward! Take out your sortie, Otley.
Yes, sir.
Hold fire! Give cover fire when and if you see the enemy!
Take them that way.
All together. Come on, run!
Oh, my darling!
Inside, sir, inside.
But for his presence of mind, I doubt if we'd be here now. We are indebted to David.
Then, sir, you shall have my deepest gratitude.
I thank you, sir. But mine was not the hand that guided your daughters to safety.
He has come to teach us psalmody, Father.
Psalmody? On whose orders?
On the orders of Providence, sir. I trust I have your permission and approval.
You shall teach my men to sing to your heart's desire, for God approves the just man's ways.
To happiness they tend, but sinners and the paths they tread shall both in ruin end. Psalm 1, verse 6. Thank you again, Colonel. I'll make a start right away. Ladies.
We shall see you again, David, surely.
I'm sure we shall.
Now some brandy for my girls.
No, thank you, Father.
Alice.
No, thank you, Father. I'm feeling better already.
And let me look at you.
And I at you.
I remember you as a beauty. In rags and dirt, you are a beauty still. And Alice, I remember you as a bonny wee thing. Now grown to a young lady, I feel a bit shy of you. You've still got a dirty face. Come in.
Clean clothes for the ladies' inspection, sir. With the compliments of my wife, not to mention Sergeant Thomas's wife. Fresh laundered, ma'am.
Laundered? Under fire?
Well, my wife says wash day, ma'am, even if there's Indians in the tub. And there's a tiring room ready, ma'am, with plenty of hot water.
Lead on, Sergeant. My sister and I will follow.
And may God be praised for bringing you both safe to me.
From there, sir, we force marched into the French lines. Then down off the ridge, under cover, until we encountered the inner French pickets just outside the fort.
Thank you, Major Heyward. The rest I know. Well, all this can go into your written report, and into my own in rather warmer terms.
Thank you, sir.
Casualties.
One dead, sir. My servant, Private Jones.
Poor devil. I cannot thank him. Saving my daughters, nor can they.
No, sir.
But they can thank you.
I did my duty, sir. Hawkeye was in command.
In command?
In the forest, sir.
Advised you. You surely were in command.
Well, that is one way of describing the situation, sir.
Hawkeye will be commended and rewarded.
He deserves it, sir. And his Mohicans are first-class fighting scouts.
So it would seem. They'll have their medals, never fear, Heyward. And you shall have your thanks from me, not only as your commanding officer, but as a father.
To your daughter, sir.
They will make their own opportunity to thank you. I doubt they would choose to do it in the ruins of their riding habit, with their limbs displayed like some Indian maid.
No, sir.
Come in, my dears. Major Heyward, I do believe you have had the pleasure of meeting my daughters.
Not in this guise. Miss Munro, Miss Alice.
We're not of the wild woods now, Major. For that and for our lives, we have to thank you. Father, may we have the pleasure of meeting Major Heyward's brother officers?
In Major Heyward's company. It is his privilege.
Sir, Mr. Otley is waiting to report. If I might escort the ladies to the mess.
I part with them reluctantly, but Mr. Otley must not be kept waiting. Sergeant?
Sir.
Mr. Otley.
The colonel will see you now, sir.
Right, Otley, I'll take your report now.
Sortie, sir. Casualties were inflicted on the enemy, sir.
And we suffered none.
None, sir.
All right, send in Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, sir?
Yes.
But he hasn't been in the fort for some days, sir.
Did he not return with your party?
No, sir.
Then I think it would be advisable to make inquiries about Hawkeye.
Yes, sir.
And if we find he did not return, this intelligence must not reach the ears of my daughters.
No, sir.
Unless ladies know of the arithmetic of war, the better.
Yes, sir.
All right, Audley.
Who are you?
I'm a British scout.
So I supposed. Do they call you Hawkeye?
That's my name, General. I never thought I'd be glad to meet you. Or grateful.
Magua, my orders were that the British scout Hawkeye, if taken, be brought to me.
The great chief's orders were to take Hawkeye. I took him.
Will these fools never learn? Magua, a captured scout must be questioned. He is a source of intelligence. And you do this. Cover his chest. Why does Magua do this?
It is the custom. Magua honors his enemy.
I've heard that story. I make nothing of it.
Well, it's the truth, General. A slow death. The slower the better. In honor of manhood.
You take this as an honor?
No, General. It's offered as such. But if you're at the receiving end of the honor, the difference is noticeable.
You wish to continue receiving Indian honor?
General, in these circumstances, I insult very easily.
That's as well. I have a use for Hawkeye.
I doubt there's not much use left in me, General.
Sufficient. It will serve. Follow me.
General.
What?
I don't budge without my Mohicans.
Very well. They too may honor your manhood one day.
And I don't budge without my rifle.
Prisoner asks for his rifle.
The long rifle. Magua has it. General, I'm not a fool. You're going to send me into the fort. I know the game.
And where you go when you are sent?
With my Mohicans. With my long rifle.
Magua, give him the rifle.
Yes, I know.
Mr. O'Brien, I believe.
Your servant, ma'am?
You stand alone, sir. Is the company not to your taste?
Miss Munro, I see a great deal of my fellow officers, and they see a great deal of me.
In the circumstances, I find them quite remarkably animated.
I dare say. I am a little old for gallantry, ma'am, and a little tired of tomfoolery.
You're fatigued by the campaign, sir.
Many campaigns.
Mr. O'Brien, you've been wounded.
I, ma'am, wounded? Not at all. Miss Munro, I am a surgeon. I came here from the sick quarters.
Of course.
I'm truly sorry to have offended your natural delicacy, but a change of linen is not easily effected in a fort under siege.
My natural delicacy has nothing to do with it. I beg your pardon for an apparent impertinence.
Not at all, ma'am. The Colonel's daughter may say what she pleases.
The Colonel's daughter is a fool. The blood is not yours. You have been tending the wounded.
That is my duty, ma'am.
To whom falls the duty of nursing them?
The soldiers' own wives and daughters.
While the Colonel's daughters entertain their father's officers. I should like to help nurse them.
Miss Munro, that is inconceivable. A lady dress a soldier's wounds.
In an invested fort, sir, there are no ladies. Take me to the sick quarters.
I shall do nothing of the kind. Miss Munro, the stench alone would turn your stomach.
Your own stomach bears up bravely, sir.
I am a man, Miss Munro. A coarse creature, no doubt. And that's as well.
But the soldiers' wives are not men, and they stomach the stench.
Soldiers' wives are not ladies, ma'am. I sometimes doubt that they are women. Squaws is nearer the mark.
Does it matter to a wounded soldier?
It matters
who
to
needs a
me,
death
ma'am. You are a lady. You are the Colonel's daughter.
Please, take me to the sick quarters. I ask it as an indulgence.
I cannot indulge such a foolish whim, ma'am, even in the Colonel's daughter. I would not subject any lady to gunshot wounds in naked bodies, to the obscene ravings of men far gone in delirium. No, ma'am. You do your duty and more if you please these popinjays while they have a leg to stand on. To ask me is to insult me, and your father would say as much if he knew that you'd asked.
Take me to my father.
What, ma'am?
Be so kind as to take me to the Colonel.
Very good, ma'am.
Ah, O'Brien, every man in this room must be damning your eyes.
They have little cause to envy me, sir.
What?
Father, I have asked Mr. O'Brien to take me to the sick quarters.
You have been discussing the sick quarters with my daughter. Sir, you shall hear more of this.
Sir, I have heard more than enough already.
This is insufferable.
No doubt, sir. But I have been obliged to suffer it. It was not I who talked about the sick quarters. At least, not willingly.
Willingly or unwillingly to discuss such matters with a lady is to insult her.
Sir.
Father, it was I who questioned Mr. O'Brien. I have been most courteously snubbed. Mr. O'Brien's conduct has been everything which one might expect from an officer and a gentleman.
And I beg your pardon, Mr. O'Brien. And my daughter should beg your pardon, too.
That I cannot do, Father. I wish to go to the sick quarters.
Brian, I am blessed with a strong-minded daughter. I think a glimpse, the merest glimpse of your province, would be enough to disillusion her. You have my permission.
Sir, Miss Munro does not wish to visit. Miss Munro wishes to nurse my patients, and I will not have it. No commanding officer should countenance it. None that I ever had would contemplate the possibility.
Oh, Brian, are you giving me orders? Do you refuse to obey mine?
Sir, I have received no orders. I have received a request from a lady.
Cora, do you know what you ask?
Yes, Father. We have seen wounds and death.
I should like to go as well, Father.
Alice, too.
I have dressed wounds also.
O'Brien, you will see that my daughters are usefully employed in the sick quarters. That is an order.
At least 20,000, sir, and certainly not less than 2,000 Indian auxiliaries.
Ordnance?
A battery siege gun, sir.
The devil he has.
Not ideally placed, sir.
Indeed?
No, they're at fort level. Or from the mountain, they command the interior of the fort, sir.
I'm well aware of that. You may go.
Sir.
20,000 men. And I have 5,000. Major.
Yes, sir?
Have 3 copies of this dispatch made. Send them by separate runners. One of them might get through.
Yes, Sergeant?
Major Heyward to see you, sir.
Oh, ask him to come in.
Sir. The Colonel to see you now, sir.
Ah, come in, my boy.
It's good of you to see me, sir.
Ah, not at all. A personal matter. Your note was not explicit.
No, sir.
Oh, what is it, Duncan? You know I'd do a great deal for you, anything in my power.
Thank you, sir.
Well, into the breach, laddie.
Sir, I presume to the honor of being your son.
This is no presumption.
Thank you, sir.
It is very proper and straight to the point as befits a soldier. But tell me, have you been as intelligible to the girl?
Oh, on my honor, no. I could not so abuse a confided trust.
Ah, that's very proper too, and well enough in its place, Duncan, but Cora Munro is a maiden too discreet to need even the guardianship of a father.
Cora?
Aye, Cora. We are talking of your pretensions to Miss Munro, are we not?
Certainly not. I have the greatest respect for Miss Munro, but I do not seek her hand in marriage.
You express yourself forcibly, Major.
Naturally, sir.
Oh, indeed. An aversion to my elder daughter comes naturally.
I did not say that, sir.
It was not necessary to say it. A strong prejudice was implied in your tone, in your very face itself.
Sir, I love your younger daughter. I love Miss Alice. I could hardly welcome the suggestion that I wish to marry her sister. Though I would love Miss Munro as a sister.
Is that all?
It is enough, sir, surely.
Is that the only reason? Your reaction to a misunderstanding?
Yes, sir. What other reason could there possibly be?
I think you know very little of my life.
I know you as my commanding officer, sir, and as the close friend of my late father.
And your father told you nothing of a personal nature?
No, sir.
Then I will do so. Sit down. When I was even younger than you are now, I plighted my troth to Alice Graham.
Alice's mother, sir.
Eventually, yes. But at that time, her father was not agreeable to the connection. So I restored the maiden her pledge and left the country in the service of my king. Oh, I served in many distant lands before duty took me to the West Indies. There I married the mother of Cora Munro. And now mark me well, sir. My wife was the daughter of a gentleman and a lady who had the misfortune to be descended from those who had been so basely enslaved. And if any man dare reflect or descent upon my daughter, I would...
Sir, I had no such
You
intention.
yourself come from the south, where those unfortunate creatures are considered a race inferior to your own.
That is true, sir.
It appeared you cast it on my child as a reproach.
Sir, I had no prejudice so unworthy of my reason. Colonel Munro, the sweetness, the beauty of your younger daughter might explain my motives without imputing to me this base injustice. Yes. Miss Munro is in every way my superior. But Miss Alice is my joy.
She is mine, too. When my first wife died, I returned to Scotland and married my first love. When Alice was born, her mother died. Cannot you see how a father's affections could be torn between two daughters?
I think I can, sir.
You shall have Alice, if Alice will have you. Come in.
I'm sorry, sir. I thought it better.
Well, what is it, man?
The scout, sir, Hawkeye. Montcalm has sent him into the fort.
Oh, all right, all right.
Then he's safe, sir.
Thank God. But to what purpose does Montcalm send him? I do not like the look of this Duncan. Ah, glad to see you back, Hawkeye.
Glad to be back, Colonel. My Mohican friends are back too.
Good. Where are they?
They stayed in the woods.
You were released by Montcalm?
Yes, Colonel. I believe because I've seen his strength in the field.
We know his strength.
He wants to parley, Colonel.
Parley? What have I got to say to Montcalm except go to the devil?
Well, he's got something to say to you.
What?
He told me to tell you that he's got dispatches for you.
For me?
Sir, he...
Point is taken. I will parley. Make all arrangements, Major.
Yes, sir.
And, Hawkeye, you didn't give your word to return to the French camp.
No, Colonel.
And go to the sick quarters and see the surgeon. I cannot see through buckskin, but I'm not a fool. You've been badly knocked about.
Well, the Hurons were a little over-keen, I won't deny. But I'd still rather leave the fort and